Okay, Star Health and Allied Insurance is the first corporate on our radar today. There's some recent news flow. Ahmedabad Hospital and Nursing Association has raised concerns. They're basically saying that they've got issues with regards to services which the company is being able to provide. There's a bit of a standoff kind of situation there. Nilesh Kambli is Chief Financial Officer at Star Health and Allied Insurance. He's joining us right now to take some questions. And Nilesh, good to have you with us here. Good morning, Prashant Nair. Let's just start with that particular question. What has happened, and where do we stand now with regards to hospitals in Ahmedabad?
So as we speak, Prashant, we have already done discussions with the hospital associations. We have reached an amicable solution. We have had a good discussions, resolved the issues, and we should, continue with our relationship with the hospitals in Ahmedabad. Having said that, it's a continuous engagement. We deal with 15,000 hospitals across the country. Post-COVID, there have been increased inflation that is coming up. We have seen some hospitals not adhering to the tariff rates. The medical protocols are not followed. So that's a continuous engagement on a pan-India basis, which we do to ensure that the customer's interest is protected. They don't have to use their sum insured and, go away with the sum insured that they are having.
No, you're saying, Nilesh, that the issue is settled behind.
Yes, so we have already had a discussion. So there will be a second dialogue which will happen in the first week of October, and the issue will be resolved.
No, how many hospitals are you kind of partnered with in Ahmedabad before this issue came through, and how many are you associated with now?
So we have more than 100 hospitals in Ahmedabad, so we'll continue to work with all of them.
There was confirm this if this is true, that and this is not just Star Health. So apparently insurance companies have kind of removed about 3,000 hospitals across the country from their panel. Is this figure correct? Over what time period has this happened? And in the case of Star Health, what's the number?
So, we can give our numbers at an industrial level. It's very difficult to comment for us. So over the last 2 years, we have been issuing notices to more than 2,000 hospitals. Whenever we see that the rates are not adhered to, the medical protocols are not followed, we issue warning to the letters. We come on the table, discuss with them, and find the solutions. But in the last 2 years, we have suspended more than 500 odd hospitals. We reach a solution with some of them, but if they are not adhering to the conditions that we imposed, almost more than 500 hospitals we have discontinued in the last 2 years post-COVID.
500 hospitals in the last 2 years. And what is the single biggest reason for this? What's the biggest issue?
It is not adhering to the tariff rates, excess use of antibiotics, certain lab testing which are not required, hospital, the doctor visits, excessive billing, impersonation. We see some misrepresentation frauds also from some of the hospitals. So there are multiple reasons due to which we take this action.
Would this 500 hospitals in the next 2 years, and is there a number going forward? I mean, is this a continuing exercise, and will this limit your growth as well, Nilesh? What's the sense?
No. So, see, this is a continuous exercise. So when we talk about hospitals, there are consulting surgeons also coming to the hospitals, consulting doctors. So it's not exactly the the hospital as a whole. Some doctors can do something. So that's a dialogue which we continue to do. So there is no targeted number, but it's a vigilant exercise that we continue to do and manage the hospital network.
Kambli, just to put that 500 number in context with which you've suspended, your impaneling, 500 is as a percent. I mean, what are the total number of hospitals that you're associated with?
We are associated with 15,000 hospitals.
15,000. And of that, 500 have been suspended. Has there been any hit to your overall operations due to this?
No, absolutely not. So if the cash facility is suspended, the customers have the option of coming through the reimbursement route. What we do is we also engage with the customers, and that's, the news coming out that even for the reimbursement, we tag them as excluded hospitals. So only in the case of emergency, the customers will be able to claim from if they are taking the treatment from these hospitals. But otherwise, we try to avoid, paying to these hospitals.
And getting back to the point about the Ahmedabad Hospitals and Nursing Home Association, when you've settled the issue, is there some sort of a monetary compensation that you've had to give? Or in terms of claim settlement, do you have to give any money to the aggrieved patients?
No. See, one thing is the patient does not get impacted in any way. It is an agreement between the hospital and the insurance company. The patient takes the treatment and he goes home. We have to then work with the hospital on what exactly are the charges, and we settle those things with the hospital. So we have reached an amicable solution. If there is an excessive billing which they were doing, they have agreed that they will not, control it or not do it, kind of a thing. So we have reached a solution.
Okay, let's come to the business side of things, the numbers, Nilesh. Now, when one looks at the growth, right, premium growth for the industry, the health insurance sector, Star Health's sort of premium growth has always kind of lagged the industry growth by a few percentage points. I mean, I have the numbers for the month of August as well. Can you take us through what should we expect from the company going forward? What kind of growth rates should we expect?
Yeah. So when we look at growth rates, we look at retail and group business. We are very strong in the retail business with almost 93-94% of our business coming from retail. For quarter one also, we had growth higher than the industry growth rate. Industry had grown by 18%. We had grown by 19%. On a month-on basis, there will be slight here and there, but we are confident that we'll continue to grow higher than the industry growth rate in the near future.
Which is what, Nilesh, if you can give us a projection, what do you expect the industry to grow by, say in FY24, and what will Star Health grow by?
See, we expect industry to grow in the region of 16 to 18% because many players have taken a price increase. We are confident that we'll grow upwards of 20%.
Okay. And on the point about price increases, are you looking at price hikes?
See, we had taken a recent price hike in our flagship product. It's a continuous evaluation. When we see that the loss ratios are touching a certain threshold, we go in for a price increase.
Okay. And how close are you to touching a loss ratio which would, necessitate a further price increase? Just trying to understand.
Yeah. So we have, around 5 to 10% of our portfolio which is touching those threshold levels, where we'll think about it and decide in the next 3 to 6 months.
It's an annual exercise, right, Nilesh? Pricing?
Exercise.
I think the last increase that you took came after a couple of years, if I remember it correctly. And there was a big chunky increase. Go on, sorry.
Yeah. So what happens is, say, family health optimize around 45% of our portfolio. When that product touches a threshold loss ratio, we have gone in for a price increase. So there are similar products like senior citizen product, the young star product. So these products are individually managed, and whenever the product touches the threshold price loss ratio, we go in for a price.
Okay. The last price hike was in May, right, of 2023, when you hiked premiums by 25% on an average for the family health plan, which is about 50% of your portfolio.
45% of it.
45. So for the balance 55% of their portfolio where there has not been a recent price hike, are you contemplating one?
See, I mean, if you go back in time, in July 22, we had taken a price increase for Mediclassic product, which is 6% of our portfolio. So that is what I'm saying. So Youngstar, which is around 8 to 10% of our portfolio, whenever it touches the threshold level, we'll go in for a price. So it's an ongoing exercise, basically.
Nilesh, sorry, just one last question from my side. That 100 hospitals that you said, right, that you partnered with another panel with, in Ahmedabad, can you assure us that all of them will be with you post the second round of negotiations? That is post October, or will they be some will be off the roster in that sense?
See, I mean, though the association has sent a letter, the negotiation is happening as an association on the terms and conditions. But within that, if certain hospitals, are not agreeing or are taking some fraudulent measures, or so we'll take an individual call. It's not an association person. So very difficult to comment that all the 100 hospitals, but yes, majority of them will work with us in the near future.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Nilesh. Great speaking with you here on CNBC-TV18 Appreciate your time here as always. So that is, the management at Star Health with some perspective coming through.